Guys, welcome back to We Watched a Movie. I am Mike, and today we're reviewing Madame Web, Who Cares? Because it is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life, but not all that unentertaining. This is going to go down as one of the funniest, dumb, crappy movies you've ever seen in your life by the end of it. We will get into spoilers eventually with this, just so you know, but also be warned, there is nothing in this smart enough that you need to be worrying about being surprised about in the movie theater. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't ever, unless you want to just have something fun to laugh at. But I don't think you can spoil anything in this movie. I just think it's like all right there on the page. Like you couldn't, it's just like, it's like when someone does something really stupid and you just smack them in the face and they're like, oh, thank you for that, actually, because I needed it, because I was locked in a trance. That's what watching this movie is like. But look, I didn't expect it to be good, and I'll be full frontal male nudity honest with you guys right now. The only reason I actually went to see it is because I thought it could be funny. I saw the trailers and was so perplexed and just so fascinated with how they could just put out something that just made in a bottle and computer generated and just it's like a shitty Walmart cupcake, and like put it in, like, some Walmart cupcakes are great, but like one that like is shit. It's like it's half off. It's been on the clearance rack. It's 2 days past its date. There's a hole in the package on the outside of the cupcake, so that Walmart air got in there and made it stale, and you bought it anyways. That's I was just perplexed by how this movie got out. And then you hear that Dakota Johnson, the main lead in the movie, fired her agency like a week after the trailer came out. And you're like, oh, this could be a special kind of bad. And plus, when it's the Sony Marvel thing, like sometimes they get it right? But other times it's like, you guys, it's so bad that like when you're just trying to copy what someone else is doing, you can't even do that. And like you're just doing this weird broken, these movies are just in this strange ether of just weird. It's like, it's just like when you buy something that's like a knockoff at the Dollar Tree, and it's not a normal, it's like a deformed dog toy that could kill your dog. Like that is like what Sony does with a lot of their Marvel projects sometimes, and they've gotten it right before. But anyways, yeah, it's to me, it's fascinating, it's perplexing. I went to go see it because I thought this could be a special kind of bad. This could be funny, and I took my 13-year-old with me, and I explained that to her. I was like, I want you to know, if you want to go, I'm not going because I think it's going to be good. I'm going because I think it could be hilarious. And she was like, I'm in. So we go and we sit down and we watch it, and the movie opens up. Oh, God. Oh, God. First of all, let me just say, Dakota Johnson in this movie knows what the fuck is up. She knows, we passed the minute, yeah. She knows what the fuck is up, okay? Dakota Johnson knows. And I gotta admire her in a weird way, because however she got locked into doing this movie, or however that went down, she's there, and you can just see it in her face. Throughout the entire movie, you can just see it in her face that she does not want to be there, A, and 2, she cannot find it anywhere deep down inside of her body to actually take it seriously. So when she's supposed to be like when an explosion happens in front of her, and she's supposed to be like, whoa, like an action star, she literally will go, whoa. And like, you can tell the entire movie she knows what's up, and she's dead inside. It's not actually a bad performance on her part. It's actually interesting because like she came off as like not a bad actress in my opinion. She came off to me as someone who's like, I am fucking just as dumbfounded as you at what's going on around me. And I can't believe I have to come to work every day and pretend this is good, because it's that bad. So, all right, getting into what happens in the actual movie now. We start off in the rainforest. And the lady from her mom, Constance, is the lady who's married to Scoot McNairy in 'Halt and Catch Fire. That's a really good show. You guys should watch it. But when she starts out there, and this dude just like hovers over to her shoulder, and he's like, you told me you were close to finding the spider. That's why I agreed to do the security detail. And she's like, I am close to finding the spider. Oh, she's kicking. She doesn't want me to stop, but I won't let her. I have to keep going to find the spider. She's talking about her child, right? She's like, she wants me to stop, but I won't let her. Not while I'm this close. It's 30 seconds into the fucking movie, man, and you're like, holy shit, this is gonna be worse than I expected. Oh dear God. So it's like this. Then they talk about how the spider gives you powers, super strength, all the stuff, and they're hunting for it. So he's like, okay, I will go back. I have to check on something. I have to check on my cryptocurrency or something. So he goes back to the tent and he's taking pictures of the. I have really bad allergies. I'm all fucked up. So if I sound like shit, I apologize. But he goes back to the tent and he's taking pictures of it, right? And they're like talking about like how many years it's taken and how impossible the spider is to find. And all of a sudden she just comes running down the hill like Baghead Jason in the window in Friday the 13th Part 2. And she's like, I found it. Yeah, I found the spider. And he motherfucker pulls out a gun and he starts killing people left and right. And then he's like, hey. And she's like, no, please don't do this. And he's like, I don't want to, but things have been very hard for me. I came from a bad past, and you've had it easy. You'll be okay. But I came from a bad past. They're just like reading AI exposition out fucking loud. Just like no nuance, no character creation. Just they're saying the cardboard caricatures of their character out loud to the camera like it's a fucking Deadpool movie or something. And they're breaking the fourth wall, but they're not. It's actually just that fucking stupid. I am a desk. I am a mouse. People will use me to scroll the internet. It's like that. It's that kind of bad. That kind of bad writing. The fucking jungle people come down and they start running through the rooftops or whatever after he shot her. He doesn't mean to shoot her, but he shoots her. And then the jungle people come down and they pick her up and they take her off. They scoot her away to some cave somewhere. And there's this fucking over-the-top sexual Halloween 6 Cult of Michael Myers when he impregnates his own niece type moment where they just dip her in the water and they have like a bath birth or whatever fucking people call it, like a home birth, and they let the spider bite her and she's like, oh. She's like moaning and she's like, oh, as the spider bites her. And then she has the baby, motherfucker pulls his baby out of the water and he's like, she will come back for questions and we will give her answers someday. And then she dies. And then we fast forward. Now we're in the real life, and we're in current. And they let us know we're in the 90s because they drive by a Blockbuster Video. And that's how you know the time frame you're in. And because one of the ambulance name guys, Adam Scott, who's actually not bad in this movie. He's just Adam Scott, you know? It's weird to have Adam Scott and just have him not do anything funny at all, but they do. And he's there, and he's Ben Parker. He's actually Ben Parker. Like, that's his name, is Ben Parker. And Dakota Johnson's character is just like, you know, it's the grab bag. You've seen it a billion times in every movie. She's like, I don't get close to people. And I'm not going to your baby shower because there's people there and I'm a lone wolf. And it's just like, they're just beating you over the head with it. Like, once again, we're reading exposition out loud. Later in the fucking movie, when the shit has hit the fan, I mean, it has hit the goddamn fan. There's shit going. There's a giant guy in a spider costume chasing you, trying to kill you. The city's on for everything's crazy, and this motherfucker, she's like taking control of the situation. She's like, "All right, you go here, you go there." He stops while delivering a pregnant woman to the hospital and goes, "I liked it better when you didn't make plans." And I'm like, "Oh God!" Like, he stops to make that joke, and that's just how obvious it is. Like, that's how like. Bad baby, bad baby, bad baby. They're trying to fucking smack you in the face with a dead fish with these caricature characters, you know? It's not soulless. It's just so soulless and just empty and dumb. Anyway, okay, so we get it. We fucking get it. You're weird. You don't like people. You're Aubrey Plaza without the personality. So that's who her character's supposed to be. And Dakota Johnson's not bad at that part of the movie. It's when shit gets to superhero dum-dum territory that she goes, oh, I checked the fuck out. I checked out like there was goddamn bed bugs and Rob Zombie was in the closet. I checked the fuck out of this movie, and you could tell. So, oh, God, the bad guy, he just leaves the force with the fucking spider, and now he's successful, and we see him fucking pick up a lady at the opera in the dumbest way. He goes to hand her, like, the opera menu or whatever, and she goes to take it, and he pulls it back, and he's, and then they fuck in bed, and they're laying in bed together, and Zoot has this nightmare. He has a nightmare, and, oh, God, fuck? Like, he has this nightmare and he's in his house and these three spider girls, I don't know who the fuck they even are. It's the three kids that are in the movie and they just look dumb as hell. Like, their costumes look like if fucking CW lost half their money in a divorce and still decided to make a Power Ranger show. That's what these girls look like. They look so fucking dumb. I felt I felt embarrassed watching them Spider-Man on the screen, like jumping around and like attacking this guy. So they're attacking him in his apartment and they're doing these the entire movie they're doing these Snyder zoom ups. Like, I don't know who the fuck directed this. Like, who the fuck held the camera? They're like, no, I want a little bit of that. I want some of that. Give me a couple of those down there too. There was just random shit that would make no sense, right? So they would try to do the Snyder supercut on people, and it would just fucking, like the camera would just jump in someone's face, like all of a sudden out of nowhere. And you'd be like, where the fuck? And it's like doing this shit. And you're like, why are we doing this? What is happening? And they're so corny and bad. Like, they had no idea how to do the Snyder jump cut. You know, when the camera does the super zoom, they had no idea how to, but they really wanted to, and they made their best attempt. And goddamn it, it's laughable and so noticeable at every frame of the fucking movie. And then B, they would do these random jump scares that make no fucking sense. When anything happened in the movie where they had to do a hard cut to something else, or there was like a cut into the future when she would have one of her Final Destination ripoff premonition things, they would do this awful thing where they would jump up the decimal volume. Like when you're watching a commercial or you're watching TV or the Super Bowl and a local commercial pops on and the sound is like, Whopper no onion. And it's like screaming at you as loud as it possibly can. And like, you have to you're scrambling for the remote. That's how loud the decibels were in this. Or I guess the more apt thing would be like mesothelioma or like whatever the fuck, but rather than Whopper no onion. But it would just be a random jump cut, and this horror scream would happen. It doesn't tie into the scene. No one's screaming in the fucking scene, but all of a sudden it would just be like, ah! And you're like, what the fuck is going on? We're just going back in time for a second, and this thing is fucking screaming at me from all the speakers. It will give you a fucking panic attack. It's so stupid. But all right, where the fuck were we? This guy is the worst. I mean, the fucking worst. I don't know what happened. I need to Google it. I need to do some Googling, but I have a feeling I'm going to be lied to. Like I was, well, I guess no, the trailers actually told the truth kind of this. But anyway, the bad guy. Okay, I feel terrible for the dude. I'm sure he's not this bad of an actor. But it appears as if, and you all, I'm not exaggerating here, his mouth doesn't match the fucking words. Like they couldn't mix the audio with the video. When you say like, hey, who the fuck directed this movie? It appears as if someone actually, they call imposter syndrome. It feels like an imposter actually got into the studio and was like, fuck. Or when he's stuck into a hospital wearing a doctor's gown, and they're like, all right, Dr. Giggles, time to perform a brain surgery. And you're like, well, I guess I better fucking try. That's kind of what it seems like happened with this movie and the people who made it. The audio doesn't match his lips. And I don't know what happened or why. If maybe the lines are bad or the ADR, like whatever, but you can tell someone else is voicing it. At best, it may be him voicing it off screen, but you can tell it's like it doesn't match. He says the corniest shit. Like he'll just come out and be like, "Hello, my spiders, you're looking beautiful today." At one point, they literally take the storyline from like The Dark Knight, or they try to, and he's like, "I have this technology." And he gets this girl to do it. So she's sitting in front of like the 12 computer screens, just like Dark Knight. And she's trying to find people for him or whatever. And he's like, this is super illegal. If the wrong hands got a hold of this, and like just the corniest shit you can imagine. But at one point he goes, do you know what I went through? And this is fucking dead on. Like it's this slow. He's talking to her because she can't find what he's looking for. He's like, do you understand what I went through to get this technology? To get these tools, use them better. Like, if like in a movie when some guy, like he would, in a real life movie, he would walk up and like, slam something, or he would threaten someone. He's like, do you know what I went through to get this? He's like, do it or I'm going to kill your children or something. Or like, some crazy shit like that. Some sort of threat, some sort of actual like dialogue that has a little bit of fucking pizzazz on it. This motherfucker, it sounds like someone's trying to scam you over the phone. to make you believe this is a fucking real movie. You know, it's a Temu fucking, the bad side of Temu, Wish.com version of pretending to be a human being's fucking movie. It was made by a fucking alien who doesn't. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna go forward. He literally is like, instead of anything like that, he goes, do you know what I went through to get these tools? Use them better. Motherfucker said use them better. Like, oh shit, this guy's scary. He told me to use them better. It's like a manager at a fucking Goodwill. I don't know. But yeah, it's so insane. Like, his lips move and the words don't even match the fucking lips. It's fucking ridiculous. He kills the lady that he picks up because he wakes up. He has this dream these girls are killing him. And he's like, he gives you the whole exposition. Like you're reading the back of a fucking shampoo bottle. He's like, I have had this dream since the beginning of time. You have no idea how bad it is. You see, I had it hard growing up. He goes into the same fucking speech from the beginning of the fucking movie where he's like, I had it hard. He's telling her how hard he had to go up. Then he poisons her. Because that's a fucking ability that he has from the spider bite, that he walks around the house like it's a fucking, what do you call those things? Fidget spinners, just like doing this shit with this terrible looking CG spider. Like, y'all couldn't even get a real fucking spider, just paint it red like Jingles the Cat from Meet the Parents. Anyways, it looks terrible. He walks around doing his bad guy thing with that, and then he's like, I have to kill you. And so he like poisons her, and then when he kills her, he's like... And he's like, you have no idea how lucky you are to have not known the date you will die. Like, I know the date I will die. Because you're like, you're doing it again. You're going back through the fucking story again. We just fucking went through the story. And it's one of the worst lines in the movie. Everything this guy does is just Haagen-Dazs fucking ice cream. Holy shit balls. It's wild. Guys, watching this movie, I shit you not, it is so fucking bad that my 13-year-old, everybody in the theater, there's probably 12 people in the theater, for the Thursday night showing, everyone at different points was laughing at inopportune times. Like, cackle laughing. Like, what the fuck? And it's not on purpose. They're not making a B movie bad on purpose. It's just bad. But it's just as entertaining as a B movie on purpose. Like, this will be for years to come a cult classic for how fucking awful it is. I cannot wait to get together with Jay and do a full commentary for this. We are gonna laugh. Oh my fuck, are we gonna laugh? Anyway. This guy, who's the bad guy, is the one who shows up in the trailers, right? In the spider suit, that black, dark-looking spider suit. And that is the coolest part of the fucking movie. Like, I will say that full stop. It looks badass. She'll have these visions and he'll show up because he's chasing these 3 girls. Don't fucking worry about why. Who cares? They're trying to kill him in the future. Why are they together? None of it fucking matters, all right? They're all at a train station. Dakota Johnson's at a train station. They end up together running from this guy. It's the fucking plot of Terminator that so many movies have done. And it doesn't do it well. Not a bit does it do it well. But they're there. This guy shows up at the train station to try to kill him. And every time there's a vision where he'll walk up with his super strength or whatever, wearing the spider suit, and he will kill people, it's fucking badass. Like, they managed to somehow just like accidentally, like sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while, managed to get this one part of the movie really badass. He would show up and like pick someone up and like snap their neck or use a table to snack their neck real quick. And the action scenes with him in the suit were fucking ridiculously cool. Like, you guys could have made a whole movie about this and it would have been badass. Go get the John Wick guy to direct it and like make it interesting. What are we doing here? Why are we fucking making these stupid ass fucking movies? Do you know what you could be doing with your time instead? It's like James Cameron working on Avatar for 20 years of his career. Anyways, my daughter looks to me halfway through the movie and goes, you paid for this shit. I'm like, I know I'm a fucking idiot, but I'm having a great time. And we're trying not to laugh or whatever, even though the whole theater eventually just gives in on it and is just going crazy. At one point, it's so bad, she's trying not to laugh, and she's swinging in the air and kicking her feet, just crying. She actually punched me in the fucking ear, man. My 13-year-old punched me right in the ear hole. It fucking hurt. And she didn't mean to, but she was just so flabbergasted with what was happening on the screen. I got fucking assaulted in the theater in the ear hole. So, not in the Scream 2 way. But they're at this train station. She picks up these girls and there's this whole thing about like, oh, they thought that she's trying to rescue them. So she drives them away. She steals a taxi cab. Because the girls were thinking she was trying to abduct them at first. Now, 10 minutes later in the car, it's on the radio that she has abducted these kids and they're on the lam now. And it's like, the kids know that you're not abducting them. So all you have to do in fucking theory is drive to a fucking police station and say, hey, these girls will explain to you what happened. There's a man in a suit chasing us, and I saved them, and everything would be okay. But instead, this dumb bitch drives out into the middle of the fucking woods and leaves the 3 teenagers there like, I gotta figure some stuff out. Stay here in the fucking woods. And these kids do for a while, and then they end up going to a diner down the street, where in the fucking diner, they end up table dancing. One of them's wearing a skirt, and they end up table dancing for some teenagers. That she's like, keep a low profile, you know, all this shit. No, because the main girl they have her so hardcore, once again, speaking her own exposition, like, I'm edgy and cool and bad, and I don't give a fuck, and I'm rude. And it's actually like, you actually just come off as a really annoying human being. Like, it's actually not cool to be like one of the annoying Spice Girls. Like, you know that, right? Like, that's not a thing people like. I don't know. But anyways, like, that's who she is. And they're table dancing in a fucking redneck diner where this motherfucker, I shit you the fuck not, is opening up a newspaper which has them on it. It's the same fucking day. The thing takes place in the same day. A goose. They got kidnapped 4 hours ago, and there's a fucking newspaper out with them on it. How the fuck is that possible? Does the movie time travel? Or does she? I don't. Anyway, fuck me in the ass with a fork. He shows up to kill them, and you got the best scene in the movie. It's really fucking cool. Like the fight scene that goes down there. It's not really a fight scene. It's just how badass that bad guy Spider-Man is. Oh God. So then this dummy takes him to a hotel room, and they're like, "You're gonna hide out here." Where they start to try to do like, it's like the T2, you know, when he's like trying to be human. He's like, "Rubber baby bugger pampas." It's like that. Like the script is trying to pretend it knows human emotions. Like this was fucking written by AI. You can tell me all the writers you have in the one. No human being wrote this. No fucking human being wrote this shit. They're sitting in the hotel. I'm sorry for screaming at you. I'm sure that's annoying. But they're sitting in the hotel, and she's like, I need to teach you CPR because the poison because he touched her for a second. And like, she gives her a part of the poison. So sometimes she'll just be driving and she'll be like, ow. Oh shit, my arm's poisoned. I forgot. And so she's like, he's going to poison you. So it puts you into cardiac arrest. So you need to know how to do CPR. So they're in the hotel room hiding out, and she's teaching them CPR. And like in the span of 30 seconds, she tries to high five the girl, and she's like, not cool. To 30 seconds afterwards, she goes, you know, you're a really good teacher. They're being fucking dead serious with you. They're trying to make you feel something in that moment. It's so stupid. And they're trying, like, with all the things that they're trying to do and not doing any of them fucking well is insane. Later on at the end of the movie, when like they're laying in the hospital bed and stuff, and the girls are there to see her or whatever, and they're like, who do these kids belong to? Because they're all, you know, abandoned pretty much, or all have their different stories like that. And she's like, they're all mine. And like, she just becomes their caretaker. Like they were a fucking puppy in the road. And they try to force feed you this like gobbledygook about you're supposed to feel emotional about these girls finally have a home. And they do none of the legwork for it at all. It's just, again, it's like a fucking it's like a icicle trying to pretend it's a human being with emotions. It makes no sense. So, oh, Jesus Christ. While they're in the hotel room. This is stupid. They're in the hotel room. She's like, now that you love me, I have to go. And they're like, no, but we just began to trust you. And she's like, trust me once more. And then Adam Scott comes over, no questions asked, to watch the 3 girls that she has, according to the news, abducted in the hotel room, that the guy's computer who can see everything in the world can't find. She's like, they must be master hiders. And like, no, she's got a fucking motel room. Like, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. She's like, at another point, I forgot about this. I'm sorry. I forgot about this. While they're in the woods, she's like, I have to go get some answers. She drives home to her house where she talks to a cat. And then she pulls out a suitcase from under her bed and starts looking at pictures of her mom. And she sees that dude in the rainforest with her because they took a picture together before he murdered her. And she sees all this stuff, like just fucking completely explaining everything. Like, oh, spiders do this. It gives people power to do this. This is the people in the woods. This is what the spider does. And she's like, oh, So this is what's going on. It's literally just the simplest way for them to be like, make her fucking understand he's the bad guy, run from him. She has powers now. She can see the future because she got in a car wreck, and here we fucking are. And it's the dumbest, just like most childish way possible to do it. And if you think it doesn't get any worse than that, she's talking to the cat while doing this and figured it out because it's in this handy dandy notebook that her mom literally wrote for her before she died. That would explain exactly everything that she's going through. She never read it before. And then she goes, well, how do you know you can't climb a wall like a spider if you've never tried before? And she tries to climb the fucking wall. And then she slides down the wall and she's like, that was embarrassing. And then they just jump cut to the next fucking scene. When she leaves the hotel room, she goes to the fucking Amazon. She's like, I gotta go take care of some stuff. This paramedic, who fucking apparently is Tony Stark and has access to pilot planes, just in one scene is on a fucking bus in fucking Peru in the middle of the rainforest, going to the place that her mom spent years trying to find, and just like walks out into a field and is like, huh. And the Amazonian guys come down and pick her up and like take her. Just in a jump cut. I'm in Delaware. Hey, I'm in Delaware. Just to the fucking rainforest and beyond. They kidnap her and they take her to the well and they dip her in the fucking water, and she has visions of her mom. And she's like, this shows her mom being like, but I won't let her. And then all of a sudden Dakota Johnson turns around and goes, why did you hate me? And they try to do that. And then she realizes all this extra shit about her mom. And the guy pops out and he's like, I knew you would come back for answers because when you were a baby, I said, she's going to come back for answers. And here you are. For answers. And he's basically like, you have superpowers. And then she's like, oh, thanks. Now I've got what I need to go stop the bad guy. And then she goes back and picks up the girls. And we end up with our final fight inside of this Pepsi warehouse, but it's full of firecrackers. And you know it's dangerous because 3 fucking times in the movie they've gone, it's a death trap in there. And that's where the guy comes to fight her, and she uses her powers to stop him. And, you know, there's a couple cool action scenes because that suit looks so cool, and the way that they shot it does look really cool. And honestly, that bad Spider-Man jumping around with all these fireworks going off made for some pretty dope visuals or whatever. The final fight scene's dumb as shit, of course, and it's absolutely just insanely stupid and awful, where she's like, oh yeah, that's how I use my powers. And like, fucking figures out the Mortal Kombat combination all of a sudden in her brain because it's the perfect time in the movie to do so. And I don't even remember what even happens in the fight, except for she goes into the water again. And as she's floating to the bottom, you're like, oh no, is she dead? A fucking fireball. It's right in the fucking face. The fireball goes under the water and just goes, and hits her right in the face. And when they fish her out of the water, she's blind. And she's got like all these scars and shit, like instant scars on her face, like instant ramen, but it's firecracker scars. And it's just like Mario Spitball. It's just like, poof. Oh. So, and then the end of the movie, and this is like I told you guys, spoilers. She's in. You think it can't get any worse? The girls are like thriving. You know, they're not superheroes yet, but they're just like, oh, we're best friends and we've been adopted and now we have a mom. And they get home and they run in the house or whatever, all happy and shit. And she's sitting in front of the window from the fucking Crow, but it was painted with like the cinematography from like one of the early Spider-Man movies. Like it looks like if Spider-Man 2 had the Crow house in it, wheelchair and all. They never even said anything happened to her legs. She spins around like fucking Professor X. And the girl, I shit you fucking not, goes, how's the eyesight? Like, she's fucking blind, dude. Like, who asks a blind person, how's the eyesight? Still blind? Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. It's fucking, she goes, how's the eyesight? She goes, I can see you all better than I ever have. I can see you thriving, being powerful women. And then they show us them as like the superheroes in the future. And then she raises up behind them like she's at the background of a Scream poster, just like hovering above them wearing Patrick Mahomes sunglasses. This is fucking real. I didn't stay for the fucking post-credit sequence, so I don't know if there is one, but I laughed at the people who did. I said everything there is to say. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, but it will absolutely provide years of entertainment value. It's The Room superhero movie. And if Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't getting ready to come out, and like there wasn't that on the horizon, I'd be asking you the question right now. Was this the death nail of superhero movies? Like, is this actually as bad as we can possibly get? I didn't even see Morbius. Now I want to, because if it's half as bad as this, holy shit. And I usually say, like, hey, but if you liked it, maybe I'm in the minority, like, that's cool. And of course it's cool. Like, if you liked it, I do gotta ask, like, how the fuck? Like, if you liked it, one thing. But someone will inevitably argue with me that it's a good movie in the comments. Someone will, and for the first time ever, I don't think I can possibly understand your point of view. I don't know how you can watch this movie in a serious fashion and be like, that is a good movie. If this is a good movie, movies are fucking dead, man. They're fucking dead. Like, if people accept this as good filmmaking and they believe this fucking hogwash, I have no hope for the future of movies in general at all. Like, count me the fuck out, man. Like, I can't fucking do it. This shit is so fucking Hallmark commercial, live, laugh, love, fake, fucking non-human, actual. It's written by someone who's never fucking had an interaction with someone in their goddamn life. It's just so bad. It's the worst villain of all time. In the history of film, I think this may be the worst villain we've ever seen. I'm talking about out of the suit, like the person. But you don't understand. I had it really hard. It wasn't easy for me growing up. Dude's wiping his ass. It wasn't easy for me growing up. Anyways, it's a 0.5 out of 10. And the 0.5 comes from those couple of action scenes of the dude in the suit. Enjoyable factor, 6.5 out of 10 for just how bad it is. And I appreciate that Dakota Johnson definitely was in on the joke. She wasn't winking at the camera. She was just going like... It was like Stay Tuned or Last Action Hero. She got sucked into the bad movie she was watching, and she was us. Like, I can't believe I have to pretend I'm excited about this happening right now. And I just think it added to it. There's just so many face-smacking, holy shit, kick the seat in front of you moments if it's empty. I can't believe it. I just can't believe this made it out. We have no standards as a society any longer. I love your all's fucking faces. Thanks for watching this video. I recommend to go see it and have a laugh with your friends. Abso-fucking-toodalutely. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon.
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover. Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you want to know about the darkness?
I said, God damn.
God damn you, faggot!
Halloween never ends, suck my fucking dick, and I don't really care what Blumhouse fucking says. Put him in a box, or suck a fucking cock. You can say he's dead, but we all know he's not, yeah. So let's go trick-or-treating, let's go fucking drinking, let's all go rent Pumpkinhead on VHS.